Hi, thanks for joining me. My name is Dave Rose. This is my Cactus Cowboy YouTube channel. This is my studio and record collection, 50 years in the making. You see just a portion of it behind me. Today I'm going to flip through a small collection that I purchased. This was through a yard sale. Always important to ask for records at yard sales if you don't see them. In this case, 2 weeks ago, was at a yard sale, no records in sight. I asked. The seller took my name, phone number. I got their name and number, and they suggested call back in 2 weeks, which I did. I went there this morning, looked at approximately 150, 175 records. Covers a little worn. All the vinyl, very, very nice condition. VG plus denier mint. Brief negotiation. I bought them for a price that was good for me, for the seller. We'll take a look. Stored in a barn for the past 10 years or so. The previous owner of these records passed years ago. His widow was very happy that I had an interest in the records. She kind of teared up when I gave her the money and was about to take the records out of there, so I gave her a hug. Very nice moment. Some of the best things about yard sales and digging for records are the great people you meet. These are not in any order. The collector in me wants to organize them alphabetically. I'll do that right now, and I'll get back to you. We'll do a flip through. Okay, let's get started. A lot of common stuff here. No real rarities. There are a few that I've never seen before. Ace, Aerosmith, Alabama, Amazing Rhythm Aces, a few. There's America, April Wine, Atlanta Rhythm Section, the band, Jeff Beck, great album. A lot of these I have in my collection. George Benson, do not have this. This looks interesting. CTI label. A couple more George Benson's later records, very common actually. Gary U.S. Bonds, Carla Bonoff. A couple Jackson Brown, Lindsey Buckingham, Jimmy Buffett, J.J. Cale, Jim Capaldi, Tony Carey. This ought to be a good one. Kim Carnes. Couple by the Cars, Roseanne Cash, Charlie, couple Eric Clapton, Stanley Clarke, Stanley Clarke again, Climax Blues Band, Cold Chisel, not familiar with this, Phil Collins, Commodores, John Conway, Elvis Costello, great record, Marshall Crenshaw, Christopher Cross, Ian Cusick, not familiar with this, Roger Daltrey of The Who, Doobie Brothers, Doucette, Doug and the Slugs, Robbie Dupree, couple by the Eagles, Walter Egan, Exile, First Fire, not familiar with this, Fleetwood Mac, very common, Floaters, not familiar, Dan Fogelberg, Foghat, Ellen Foley, Glenn Fry, Craig Fuller, I don't think I've ever seen that. Golden Earring, great record. Steve Grossman, Hall & Oates, got a few of those. Head East, a couple. Head Pins, Horse Lips, Irish band. James Gang, Al Jarreau, Jefferson Starship, Elton John, Brothers Johnson, Ricky Lee Jones, Greg Kinn, Real Clue, mostly classic rock and jazz and a little bit of disco type stuff. Ronnie Laws, jazz guy, Led Zeppelin, Little Feat, Little River Band, oops, Nils Lofgren, Los of Manchester, Barry Manilow, Marshall Tucker, couple Moon Martin, these are good. Les McCann, more jazz. Several Steve Miller Band, later records of his. Moody Blues, got a few Moody Blues. Mother's Finest, this is a good band, got a few of theirs. I think these will be upgrades to what I got. Mott the Hoople, Michael Murphy. Hector is a good one, I bought this back in the 70s. Willie Nelson, Night Ranger. Aldo Nova, great guitar work on this. Couple by the Outlaws, Ozark Mountain Daredevils. Several Alan Parsons projects. I think I have all these. Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. Planet P. That's a good one. Robert Plant. Poco. Point Blank. Police. Prism. Not familiar with that. Eddie Rabbit. Couple of Bonnie Raitt. Red Rider. REO Speedwagon. Lionel Richie. Rockets. Linda Ronstadt. Todd Rundgren. Rush. Saga. Sanford Townsend. Boss Gag. Sea Level. Bob Seger. Shooting Star. Michael Smotherman. Not familiar with that. Patti Smith Group. Great record. Snail. Flow. Not familiar with that. Soft Cell. That's another great record. Rick Springfield. Squeeze. Status Quo. Got a bunch of Status Quo. Not that one. Asia. Steely Dan. Cat Stevens. Al Stewart. Stephen Stills. Stillwater. This is a great record. Stuff. Sunshine Band. Looks like disco maybe. Supertramp. Tarney Spencer. The Time. That's kind of a Prince protege. Richard Torrance and Eureka Bell of the Band. Pat Travers. Good guitar on this. Marshall Tucker. Tommy Tutone. Uriah Heep. Bob Welch. The Who. Don Williams. Couple by Hank Williams Jr. Outlaws. Outlaw Country. Hooked on Classics.